Welcome, air signs. Thank you for joining me here at the Oracle of the Feather Crown Tree. We are going to do a sacred directions reading for you during the time of the full moon, or pardon me, the new moon in Virgo this week. So it should be good for about a couple of weeks. This reading, I'll explain the positions of the cards as we go through. I do hope that you find it useful for whatever you are experiencing during this time period. So, our center card is going to be representing your will, which is hopefully in alignment with the divine will, source will, and not something based on the ego, which would be more driven by fear and survival. So, the divine will would be closer to that idea of giving and receiving from the heart space. So I see here that there's something about the mind in childhood, and perhaps programming from childhood, the child's mind as far as a new opportunity, a new way to think and structure your mental space. So I definitely am getting a strong message of a potential for reprogramming the way that you perceive and deal with your thoughts and process that type of energy. And it looks like there is perhaps a desire to do this because you know it will help you navigate the emotions of your life in a way that seems more calm for you. And there seems to be like a real desire to return to something that feels fresh and new, and maybe wipe the slate clean if you've accumulated years and years of thoughts and worries and anxiety and whatnot. I really feel like you're giving yourself this time now to say, I need to clean up this mental space. I need to take care of my mental health. And in doing so, I can be restored to a fresher way of being in this world. I can, rewind in a way that aging process, and I can then experience a better quality of life for myself. So as I move over to your placement where we're looking at your passions, which is the fire energy in you, I'm seeing that you're contemplating something about love and this idea of really wanting to ground love into your reality, make it part of your everyday world. And it's the type of love that's like that stable love. It's not when you're first stirring up something and you're all excited and whatnot. This is like a more progressed level of experience with something either in your reality or perhaps another individual or even with yourself. And you're basically looking for something that can help you really understand this, that can be the key to getting this. So I encourage you to feel, to really through your senses, through a fairly visceral way of feeling, and emotionally, and in every way that you can, but to really feel, get into what it feels like that, what you're seeking, the actual vibration, I guess we could say, of what you're seeking. And that could help you understand how to bring that in. And maybe you can build some associations around that as to when you feel that way naturally, what triggers that type of feeling for you. Or maybe there is a habit or ritual that you can develop that would help you generate this type of feeling. And one of those habits or rituals that you might find is spending more time in a green and very earthy environment, or bringing that environment into your surroundings if you can at all. Maybe picking up the practice of gardening and just spending time grounding and being in the earth and learning to understand your connection there and how much sustenance and nurturance comes from that, because this is more of the energy, this type of love that you're seeking, as opposed to something that feels just really chemical and infatuation based. So when I look at your emotional space, I see that you may be opening up to something that you feel has been really dormant in the past, and you're not quite there, but there might be something that you need to look at that's been vacated, and just maybe, in the distance that could be a key to why this feeling of grounded love doesn't exist already. So there may be something from your childhood. I definitely get a feeling that it's something that you've hid away, you've suppressed, and there's this call. You might be getting just a natural call from what feels like spirit to examine this in a really gentle way. You might be having, a very, subtle nudge to start exploring this, because I do feel like there's a fair amount of flourishing and beauty in your life, but there may be something still in your past that if you dig a little bit deeper, you may be able to resolve, and it could be, some quite dense, stuck energy, and I just feel like maybe it wants to be released and or even transmuted into something that can free itself into a lighter, more inspirational energy for you. Now I'm going to look here at your physical reality. And this could relate to your actual body, or just your environment, the people around you maybe even. I am getting that you're really focused on centering, which I get here as well. This idea of really kind of getting into something that feels a little deeper than you normally would go. Like you're trying to get to the root of something, the crux of something, the central issue. Like you don't want to dance around anything. And even, again, kind of like I got off this card, again, if there's your reality, your environment may be absolutely spectacular, things may be going really, really well, but there's something that just says, hey, even though like all these outer layers seem to be really fantastic, there still feels like something inside that I need to, even if it's not something that's so much stuck or needs to be released, I need to identify, like I need to understand my essence, who I really am. And I need to look at maybe the protection and what I also allow to actually access this place within myself. Like, how accessible is this to my reality? Do people really see me for who I really am? Or do I hide that and I create so much phantasma around myself that they can never actually get to the core of who I am? So I'm going to look here now at the air quality of what you have in your realm right now. This is a great card. I see you really with a higher perspective. So this may be kind of a key, like you may be looking at things from a perspective that doesn't serve you. So there's something about accessing what you're doing here with a higher vision. So maybe you can seek help or insight, not so much help, but just maybe there's a resource that can help you. And this could just simply be being in your thoughts. But once again, I am getting pulled, like if you want to maybe change the way that you're perceiving, you may need to change your environment. And a great way to do that is to simply, if you're inside a lot, go outside, watch the clouds, let your mind be nothing, and just watch clouds pass by. And this may start to stir a different part of your mind that helps you begin to perceive things in a new way. There seems to be kind of some enlightenment going on, so I feel like you will make some progress here, like you're going to gain something really through your ability to be reflective and go allow yourself to go through a process here. And in the end, I'm seeing this just real transformation in the mental space. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see here what's going on. I do get a lot of isolation in this, so you may find yourself just kind of spending some time alone, and that seems to be fairly necessary to get through this process. But it does definitely feel like it's a temporary thing, like you're being supported by other things outside of your day-to-day reality and the people that you may be interacting with. Like there's a higher power that needs to come through, and it may be speaking to you through the elements of nature. So I am going to end the reading there. I do hope that this has been helpful for you. Please join me again. I will do another reading kind of like this around the full moon, and then the monthlies are coming out too for, let's see, we're going into Libra season, so those should be out, I believe, next week. So you guys take good care.